Unreal Engine is one of the most powerful 3D engines ever built, and it can create a lot of different things like cinematic photorealistic worlds, film sets that don't exist in real life, entire Netflix level animated shows, and some of the biggest games ever made. But the problem until now is that it had a very steep learning curve. You would have to spend weeks, if not months, wrestling with blueprints, viewports, and render settings before you could actually build anything. But I just found a completely new way to build with Unreal Engine. You see, Unreal MCP just got released, which means you can connect an AI agent to Unreal Engine and basically prompt it in plain English to generate whatever it is that you want. And so in this video, I'm going to take it a step further. I am going to connect Unreal Engine to Claude Code and show you exactly how to do that. Then of course, I'm going to create an animation with nothing but prompts. And then we're going to run that rendered video through Seedance, a very powerful AI video model, to give it that final polished touch. Now for those of you who've never used Unreal Engine, you might have this misconception that it's for game devs and not editors or not video creators, but that couldn't be further from the truth, because by the end of the video, I'm going to show you that this can apply to literally any niche that you're actually working in. This software itself has so many different use cases that we could be sat here all day just discussing them. But what I'm here to show you is that in this new era of AI that we live in, it allows even people like me who have never touched Unreal Engine before to build a very sick animation in less than an hour. And so to use Unreal Engine, firstly, you got to download Epic Games. And once you load Epic Games, you'll see on the left here, Unreal Engine. Click on that and then just launch Unreal Engine on the top right. Now, I'm going to personally use Claude Code, but you can use whatever AI agent you want. The steps are going to be the exact same for basically anything that you use. So once Unreal Engine actually loads, all you got to do is click on Content Drawer, then you can right click in this empty space and click on Level. This will create this sort of composition that you can see on screen now, where we can begin connecting our AI agent to Unreal. Now, even though I said that we are going to use the Unreal MCP, we are going to add something on top of it, which is Vibe UE. This is basically Unreal Engine MCP, but it has a few different extensions because the regular Unreal MCP is missing a few things like performance profiling, terrain, animation, Niagara VFX, audio, UI, deeper blueprint editing, undo rollback, run any Python in the editor, 34 more built-in skills. And so Unreal's native MCP will keep handling the basics like actors, assets, materials, screenshots, but Vibe UE is going to fill those gaps in that will allow us to create even better animations. The issue is that if you're on a Mac like me, it doesn't really work because it's meant for Windows. So I prepared a whole instruction and an already converted plugin for you to just copy and paste. It's going to be the top link for free down below in the description. So you can go ahead and download the file that I shared with you below and then just copy this prompt either from the description or on screen, open up Claude Code, paste the prompt and drag in the file that we just downloaded. And then whatever agent you're using is going to guide you through a few different steps which are very easy to follow along. By the way, if you are finding this kind of content valuable and you want to see more videos like this one in your For You page, then I highly encourage you to subscribe because 90% of you guys are not subscribed to this channel and it really does help out a lot. So if you haven't already, scroll down a little bit and click the subscribe button. And if you did, thank you very much. Now I'm running into an error, so I'm just going to screenshot it, paste it back into Claude, click on OK here. I'm going to send that off. And our test project is now wired to MCP, but the extension that I'm trying to add is not. However, any error that I'm going to run into, I'm simply going to ask Claude, what is the error? How can we solve it, etc. And it's going to help me along the way. So even if something is different for you, if you're on Windows, if you're watching this video in the future, whatever it is, use these agents to actually help you do this setup, because this is literally how I do all of my setups. As you can see, that was literally just one screenshot and we have the extension connected. Yeah, as you can see, it found and fixed the problem and it cleared the flag. So now it's trying to use computer use, but it doesn't have access to screen recording. Luckily, Claude has this really nice UI, which I can just click and enable my screen recording. Okay, we're gonna have to quit and reopen. And I'm just gonna simply say, try again. Allow Claude to use Unreal Editor, allow for the session. Now, as you can see, Claude is basically controlling my computer to launch Unreal Editor. And you can tell it's controlling my screen because there's this big orange glow on the outside, which means that it's actually using computer use, taking screenshots and screen recordings so that it can see the screen and just do the actions on my behalf. Now, as you can see, it just ran a command in the bottom left and setup is complete. I basically didn't do anything but send that prompt. Now here's also the manual way. If you want to do this, you can enable the Unreal MCP plugin directly in the edit tab, have it auto start on startup and then run this in the editor console. But all of this was basically just done with Claude. So now I'm going to open up my test project again by double clicking. I'm just going to ask it, can you see the empty test project? Okay, it's using my computer, but I don't want it to see this. I'm going to say, don't use computer use. I mean via the MCP. Okay, it's talking to the Unreal MCP server. The MCP connection works. Now asking the editor what level is open. And yes, it's confirmed that it is seeing Unreal Editor with the MCP. So that's how easy it was to connect Claude Code with Unreal MCP. Now, let me show you how to actually create some sort of animations inside of Unreal with Claude Code. I want to start by actually giving it access to some pre-made models and seeing how it's going to put them together and compose a scene for me. So I have this rocket from the NASA website, which I'm going to download. And I'm just going to drag and drop it into the content folder. To be honest, I don't know what any of these settings means. So I'm just going to import it. And as you can see, it's split into multiple different parts. I did think this is going to be just one big part. Maybe it is this cylinder. Whatever, we'll figure it out. Or I guess Claude is going to figure this one out. So I'm going to just voice prompt and I'm going to say, I need you to create a super simple launch pad for my rocket. All of the assets for the rocket are already included inside of the content drawer that we have open right now. So use your connection to Unreal MCP in order to, number one, build the rocket using the models that we have. And number two, create a simple launch pad that the rocket will be sitting on top of. Okay, this looks good. I'm going to send it off. As always, I'm also in bypass permissions, meaning I don't have to enable and approve every single command that it's going to try run. And if you're curious, I am using Fable 5. So as you can see, it did actually find all the rocket model components here. We can see a bunch of different rocket Jupiter stuff. So this is actually what we have downloaded. Oh, I can see that something is being created. Okay, there's actually 6. So it's building the rocket in real time. We see the launch pad, we see the rocket. I did specify a very simple launch pad. So that's why we just have like a little box down here. But I can also see there's a shadow, so it created some sort of ambient light, or I guess a spotlight. Now it's compiling shaders. And I know we're kind of cheating by giving it a model to work with, but you don't really need to find all these models. Yes, you can use something like Sketchfab for a bunch of different free models. And by the way, nothing here is sponsored. I'm just showing you some of the tools that are actually good for this kind of use case. You can see that in Sketchfab under free licenses, there's so many different models that you can choose from. You can literally just search up whatever you're looking for, and then you have pre-made models. Or you can also use AI tools to actually customize and create your own AI models, your own 3D AI models, not just AI models. And you can do this with something as simple as drag and dropping an image, which will then create your GLB 3D image. And then you can texturize it as well. So this is honestly how you connect all these different AI tools to each other. Because I presume that if you just send one prompt to Unreal Engine, it's not going to build your entire scene. It's not going to be the best thing you've ever seen in your life. But that's why you need to learn how to utilize multiple different tools, use them for the best use cases, connect them all together, and then you can actually start to build and create a scene that you like. And obviously, if you do have Unreal experience, this will also help a ton, because not only is this being generated by AI, we still have customizability and control over everything in our scene, just like you would when you're normally using Unreal. But anyway, we have everything done now, verified via screenshot, but I mean, I can see it myself, so I don't need to ask Claude if it's done. This still looks relatively basic, so I want to add some sort of buildings in the background. So I guess what I'm going to do is just download a couple of these models from the NASA website, because I'm kind of interested in this. I literally just found it and I didn't even know that they have these. So I'm going to download a couple of different models, such as this space guy and some other extra assets that I'm just going to download real quick. And just like last time, I'm going to open up the content drawer, go up here to content, and just drag and drop all of the stuff that I have downloaded and import it once again. Now I did download quite a bit of models here, but okay, yeah, it's done. That's pretty cool. I also downloaded this gantry, whatever this is. So I'm going to replace the sort of landing launch pad, whatever this is, with the gantry. And I'm also thinking we should maybe just be on the moon already. So let's specify everything in the prompt. I uploaded a bunch more assets inside of Unreal Editor. Make sure you use the Unreal MCP to import these assets into our current test scene. And also the launch pad that you created, I wanted to replace that with the model that we imported called Gantry. Okay, super simple prompt, plain English, nothing special. I literally talked what I wanted into Claude Code. I'm not some prompt engineer over here. I'm just speaking in plain English. And then, yeah, we'll see what it's going to create. So it's saving a bunch of assets, and I kind of want to watch it work in real time. So I'm going to open up Unreal. Okay, so it's looking through the model groups. It's basically understanding what we actually imported. And keep in mind, the importing of the assets is still just the beginning, because later in the video, I'm actually going to want to, first of all, turn this into a video. So I'm going to get Claude to use the camera to record a video moving around this scene. And then after that, I want to actually use the AI model to add some textures to this scene, because I don't know how much we can actually do inside of Unreal, because as I said, I'm not an expert and I don't have that much faith that this is going to completely make one of these movie Netflix scenes. Okay, this is sick. This looks so much better. But by simply just using this video and importing it into an AI model, I think we can add extremely nice textures. Okay, so which models did this import? So yeah, this imported the entire launch pad. Yeah, okay, so it's very random right now. It kind of like repositioned all of the things all over the place. Okay, it's taking screenshots via the MCP. I've seen that underneath my camera as well. So maybe it's going to reposition it more. Okay, now it's reading those screenshots that it took. So the scene wide one was why it completely changed where I was positioned. The gantry is basically the launchpad that we have imported here. That's the name of the asset. And I think that was a very good visual representation of why I actually went ahead and downloaded the models and imported them, because the launchpad that we created was extremely basic. Okay, maybe some of the assets that I imported are not the greatest. Like, this is a bit random. Yeah, I guess the positioning of all these things, it is a bit random. To be honest, I don't even know where I want these positioned, so I'm going to set that aside. Okay, I think this is a long enough prompt, so I'm going to send this one off. TLDR, I basically wanted to reposition a bunch of the stuff, duplicate some of the stuff, and also I told it that I want a moon-like surface. So the moon-like surface, I don't know how it's going to create this. I told it to just browse the web, find some textures of the moon, and perhaps a model of the floor. So we'll see what it finds. Let's see what else NASA has cooking up here. Okay, this could be cool. Now these are hurricanes. That kind of looks like a moon surface though. We could get creative with it. We could also just launch the Hubble telescope like above it, maybe even like floating around it. We'll see. We have the ISS. Okay, the further we go, the cooler this shit is. I didn't even get that deep into this 11th page of the NASA 3D resources website. Okay, this is cool though. These Mars Hills. Let's see what this looks like. It's an STL file though. I don't know if that'll work. But worst case, I could once again just, even if this doesn't work, I could download this as an image, turn it into a 3D model, and then use this model as the flooring for our scene. So if it doesn't create a good floor, this is probably going to be my next step. Okay, but I can see it's creating something. So let's go back here. Texture, moon, normal. So I guess, okay, it did apply texture, but it's way too flat. That's the issue right now, because all it did was apply the texture. Yeah, texture's downloaded. No direct moon material. I mean, it certainly looks better than what we just had, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do my strategy. Okay, we can see our scene is finished generating. It did a couple of things I asked for, and other things like the habitat over here isn't exactly how I imagined it. But regardless, the one suggestion that Fable had is that the sky is currently breaking the illusion because it understands I want to be on the moon, and the moon has no atmosphere. So it's suggesting to delete the blue sky and set up a black sky with stars and harsher sun. So I might take it up on that suggestion. So I'm just going to say yes, set up the black sky with stars and sun. While that's generating, I think that's enough tweaking around with these like small little details, because obviously there's a million different things that I could do to make this nicer. However, the use case that I'm using it for is to create like a cool video. This is going to be the final change that I'm going to make, and then we're going to move on to the camera setup. Maybe the rocket launching, as I said, we'll see if this will actually keyframe the model of the rocket to do a liftoff, because I have no idea how Unreal works. Okay, so it imported something, by the way, T-stars. Okay, this took a lot longer than expected, to be honest. I think it was like 10 minutes to completion, but finally we did have the deletion of the sky, this nice star texture, and some sort of a different kind of lighting. Can't seem to find the sun, but it's okay. But anyways, what I want to set up now is some sort of a rendered video. So I need a camera to be panning left to right, maybe like a bird's eye overview. And after it creates the bird's eye view, I needed to render it in the MP4 file, which we can then import into Seedance. So I'm going to specify, okay, this looks great. Now I need some sort of a bird's eye view of the rocket. Now this bird's eye view needs to slowly pan into the rocket and follow the rocket as it moves up. So yeah, we are going to try get the rocket to lift off and the camera to basically pan in whilst looking at the rocket. Once that's ready, I'm going to just tell Claude Code to generate this as an MP4 file if all looks good. And so we're going to see how this turns out. Okay, so we have the camera and rocket ready. So I forgot these were all individual parts. I wonder how I did that. Okay, I see. So all 23 parts are now children of a single actor. So kind of like nesting in Premiere Pro. That's how I would think of it. But okay, enough talking. Let's open this up full screen and let's just check it out. Let's press play. Okay, the rocket's not moving. Oh, nice launch, lift off. That's pretty sick. Off into the stars it goes. Okay, I mean, this is exactly what I had in mind. Camera pans in, rocket lifts off. I wonder how Seedance is going to do with this edge over here, because obviously we're on the moon. So where is it going to put the horizon? I don't know. But that's what we're here to find out. So I think this is good. I'm going to specify render this as a 10-second MP4. So yeah, then I'm going to drag and drop the folder that I want it attached into. And I'm also going to specify render it in 1080p. Because it's going to be much quicker this way. So yeah, even rendering, I know I could technically find the render settings and they wouldn't take that long, but I like to use AI for basically as much as possible, as much as it'll let me use it for, so I don't have to actually learn all these manual little tweaks. If this was Premiere Pro, maybe I would do this myself, but I'm not familiar with the software. And if I go up here, it could be export, it could be save. I have no idea. So I'm just going to tell Claude Code to render it for me. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how Seedance is going to turn this around. So I guess I need to find like a good style, because that's the number one one thing for AI image, AI video generations, I think is style. It's not necessarily the prompt that you give it, it's image reference that you give it to change the style of the whole scene. And Seedance in and of itself is already a very good model. Therefore, I'm not going to over-index on the prompt for Seedance. I'm going to more so find maybe something to do with space. I mean, this looks okay. The issue is like there's no rockets or anything. So maybe like space, moon, rocket. I'm on Midjourney, by the way. I think Midjourney is like the best aesthetic image generator, even till this day. It's an OG in the space. Okay, I might try a couple of different ones. So for one of them, I might just try, this is going to be one of them. I'm going to download this, simply right click, save image and save to my folder. For another style, I might download this. This looks pretty cool. I'm going to open them in AI Canvas Studio and I'm just going to drag and drop 2 of the images into here. For context, this is my own software so that I don't have to pay for subscriptions. I can just use my own API keys and I can obviously customize it with whatever assets I want. It's not like Evolute, which is my motion graphics software, which basically allows you to generate hyperframes and remotions, compositions, and then, you know, make small tiny tweaks to whatever you want after the fact of it being generated. But I just find that using these custom softwares is like the best solution for video editors. So if you are a video editor or you create content for whatever purpose, I'm going to upload every single one of my internal softwares like the Premiere Pro MCP, the AI Canvas Studio, Evolute. Evolute's already available, but it's all going to be in the editing evolution down below because I was going to do a whole revamp of courses because there's so much stuff to cover. So I'll be honest, the courses are behind, but my main focus isn't even the courses right now. I think if you watch most of my videos, you'll get a lot of different value from there. I think the value that I can bring is giving you access to all the tools that I use. So be wary, this isn't a production grade app. This is meant for the masses. Maybe one day I will share all of this because for now I want to just give it to the internal users in the editing evolution. So if you do want access to all of my tools that I use, all of my skills, all of my files, basically everything, just join the editing evolution. It's going to be the second link below the video. But okay, apparently it's done. So okay, so once again, I'm going to say open the Finder to where the rendered video is located. Okay, we have it right here. So let's check it out. Yeah, this is exactly what we just previewed. This looks very nice. 10-second video. So let's go back into the AI Canvas Studio and let's import this video into here. So then what we're going to do is drag this, use this as a style. So put it there, drag this as well. And I'm going to use both of these images as styles. Then I'm going to say use at video 1 as the motion for the video. Then use the style from image 2, which is this one over here, the rocket, for the style of the rocket in the video, and use the style from image 1 onto the rest of the scene. It's going to be a super simple prompt, and I'm just going to select Seedance 2.0 and 2.0 fast, and I think that's everything. So I'm going to generate 2 videos, both 10 seconds each. So let's click on generate, and yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how this comes out because we have the motion path, which was again created inside of Unreal with the MCP. You've seen that I touched 0 nodes, 0 assets, and it's quite obvious that I don't have any experience in Unreal. And also, you don't have to build your own custom software to do this. I mean, there's plenty of softwares that allow you to use an image model and a video model. So just import this into Higgsfield, Gemini, just whatever has an AI video model. And in the prompt, the only important thing is to specify that you want to use the motion from the video, because that's essentially the main thing that we're using that video for, is like the motion and the consistency of the assets, and then the styles from the styles of the images you chose. So let's see how this generates. Okay, so the first results generated, which were not the best. I mean, this ending looks sick, but the start is kind of bad in this one because it still looks like it's on the earth. This doesn't make any sense. There's still a big square. And this one over here, kind of same situation. It didn't turn out that good. This again looks like the earth. We kind of went for the moon. It's okay, but it was kind of bugging me. So what I ended up doing is I just took a screenshot of this because I thought that it's either the style or the prompt. And earlier I was saying the prompt is not important, but it kind of is. So I just gave the Claude session, which was the session that was working on this Unreal MCP the whole entire time, a screenshot and context of what it is that I want to do. I told it the issues that these videos had, and it came out with this prompt. I basically copied this prompt, and we got 4 of these results, and these are just much better. First one, broken, but that's why I use this kind of a software, which actually allows me to generate 4 at once, because this one, for example, came out much better. It actually added fire underneath the rocket. It kept the consistency of the moon with some nice craters here. Everything's still positioned nicely. It fixed the weird square rectangle edge and actually added a nice horizon. We also have this one, which came out very nice, which, I mean, it's the same kind of thing, but it didn't have a fire. And then we had this one, which actually did have a fire, did have the craters. This is a very nice horizon. I like that a lot. and then it followed the rocket, but the ending wasn't that good. So ultimately, I think this one's the best. This one just has everything we wanted. A pretty sick use case, and just one of many use cases for Unreal. I think there is so much potential with these MCP tools, which I basically just made a tweet about. If you're not following me on Twitter, make sure to click the link down below, follow me on Twitter. But there's so many different use cases and so many possibilities that we can actually use these MCPs and these different AI tools for. So I highly encourage you to actually go out there and try these tools out for yourself. And I recently made a similar video, but on Blender. So if you want to see how I actually created this pretty cool sphere rolling down a hill, jumping over and dodging obstacles, then just click on the video somewhere up in the screen and I'll see you there.